So my name is Kim Mildenstein, and I'm raised and I grew up around Harmattan area, which is a community just west of Olds, Alberta, in between Olds and Sundre. And we moved out to the Eagle Hill area, not far from Harmattan, and wanted to raise our kids in a safe and a good community environment. And enjoyed living there for quite a number of years until we experienced, I guess, a large amount of oil and gas activity in our community. I wanted to share our story about what it was like quite a few years ago, having oil and gas as our neighbor in our community. And so my husband and our 3 sons, at the time we were residing in Eagle Valley. Our home was up on the hill right there. I think we were there about 4 years, 5 years. And yeah, we moved from there because of the industry. Our family's safety was at risk continually, and the fracking here still hasn't stopped. It just wasn't safe to live here anymore. So basically on our country roads, some of them are paved, but there's no shoulder, there's no center line. There's also no signs that say do not pass on the incline of hills. And so numerous times a semi-tanker would drive up behind us at a high speed, come very close to the back of our vehicles, and basically try and push us off the road. So yeah, it's probably the hardest part to talk about. Just from the trauma from that, and happening continually and repeatedly, probably almost daily, that we drove into town. The other aspect of industry in our neighborhood was the loud noises. At about 11 o'clock every evening, we would hear this loud, roaring sound over top of our valley, over top of our home. And we didn't know what it was. And the kids would come running into our room crying because they couldn't sleep because the noise was so loud. Our valley has 4 entrances that drive into it. So we heard the sound of air brakes from the semi-tankers gearing down to slow down into our valley all day and pretty much all night, intensively for 4 months. And then it continued on for 4 years. So for 4 months we were basically sleep deprived, and ran off the road for 4 months. The drilling, there were probably about anywhere from 40 to 50 energy projects going up within those 4 to 5 months, and then more within the next 4 years. So I think just that the mental health impact on me, being sleep deprived, suffering from anxiety and trauma from being tailgated and stalked, was hugely impactful on me and affected my life in many ways, from a community level to private and professional level. And just experiencing so many people in the community that I'd reached out to and asked for protection and asked for them to write letters and had asked them to phone the police and the Mountain View County and Chinook Edge School Division and the Transportation Department to tell them what it was like for us, and having the same sort of dominant theme come back to us, which was, no, we don't want to sign anything, our name will be on it. And if our name's on it, it could affect our jobs. Now, I would say we experienced a bystander culture in Alberta, that people would say, you know, we don't want to write our name on a letter because my husband works at the gas plant, or because my husband's an electrician and he works for the oil field, or my husband owns an oil company. We don't want to put our name on another letter. And so it just seemed like everyone was too afraid to speak out. So another time our son came home from school, and he was learning about the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and also the Iroquois Confederacy, and looking at democracy. And he said to me, "Mom, do we live in a democratic country? Is this democratic?" And I had such a hard lump in my chest and in my heart, just because of how much we had reached out to the ministries of our government and informing them of what it was like for us. With knowledge now of water contamination and neighbors having methane in their water, other neighbors having decreased water flow rates, and other families without water, and then having absolutely no support, and receiving letters back from ministry stating that the oil and gas industry was regulated. And I looked at my son and I said to him, I said, "No, we don't live in a democratic country right now. Alberta is not democratic. In a democratic country, the people care for each other. And when we ask for protection, we're given it. And people care about each other. And they care about our basic human rights, one being drinking water and safety." But I said to him, "But for your exam, make sure you shade in on the multiple choice the letter that says democratic." I think I do have hope for change, and I think it's going to happen and it's going to come, but it's going to have to take people becoming literate in green education, green universities, green elementary schools, just a real change so that our kids know how to hook up solar power, our kids know how to live sustainable, our kids can work in a green environment where they're less exposed to gases and chemicals.